Hello, and welcome to another session of Gotham by Night. Tonight, we're going to see how the characters are coping with the calm before the storm, as they have been the past few nights. They all know something is coming, but they don't know when or where. So, let us view down to a new face to this party, although not a new face to Gotham City itself, as the camera pans down to a man typing somewhat vigorously but also quietly in a very darkened room with a rather advanced looking computer and system in front of him. Axel, you are
Uh,
currently taking care of a little bit of a gathering assignment by the Order Dracul.
okay.
Would you go ahead and roll me an intelligence plus computers, please?
Sure, and that's on roll 20
Discord.
on
Discord.
Discord. Yes.
Roll it in the dice channel. Slash roll space however many d10s you're rolling greater than or equal to 8.
Okay, let me just bring up my character sheet. Sorry, this laptop's a little slow. Okay,
That's okay.
yeah. What's the thing I type in for rolling?
Slash
Slash
roll.
R. Yeah.
/R. Okay. So
Looks a little something like that.
okay. Just waiting for the screen to load. Uh, it's okay. Let me see if I can find. Sorry, this thing's slower than molasses. Okay, here we go. Character sheet. Um, okay. And it was computer plus intelligence, right?
Correct.
Okay, computer plus intelligence. Okay. Okay.
That's a hit.
Yeah.
So, Blake, you've been investigating for some time. There have been a lot of disturbances popping up in Gotham City recently. A lot of the uprising, well, not uprising, but commotion, so to speak, all started with a display that happened outside of Gotham City's new renovated museum. There was a new device proposed there, a device that would said to power all of Gotham City on a glass of water, similar to cold fusion, except using a different kind of technology. Wayne Enterprises hosted the display. From what you remember and what you've researched, the news articles say that the local Joker's gang attempted to steal the device. They failed miserably. Most of the police reports, however, are missing, edited, or redacted, which is odd. You've been investigating this for some time. It's been very difficult to find anything, but you have found some things. A couple screenshots, but no actual faces. However, you can tell that there were definitely some beings there that were not of normal human descent. The Order of Dracul has been interested in what has happened recently. There have also been several attacks on certain vampire territories in Gotham that were not warranted and need to be taken care of. The Vampire Society in Gotham City is currently at war with several major gangs now. And what you've discovered is there are a couple names that have popped up on your desk. These names don't mean anything to you, but you've been trying to research and figure things out about them, although it's been difficult, even with the technology and resources you have at your disposal and with your skill. Nonetheless, you've been making progress, but slowly. Eventually, in the dark room, you feel a presence nearby.
That's cue for me to say something.
Yes,
Okay. Okay, who's in here with me?
just me, Blake. I was curious to see how your progress has been going.
It's slow, but it's coming along.
Excellent. Have you found anything else out interesting about the device that Wayne Enterprises posted?
Other than that, it can run the entire city on a glass of water.
Yes, we had a few members of our fellow sisterhood over on the Far East Side come up with some curious questions for that.
Still looking into it.
Hmm. Well then, um, I have an assignment for you, Blake. If you're done with that, I think that's about as far as we can do. They've our fellow brethren in the Invictus have decided to throw most of that problem under the rug. It will probably be very difficult for you to find anything, even with the resources we provided. I do have a new assignment for you.
Okay. What-
How
Happy to help
familiar are,
however I can.
of course,
Sorry.
how familiar are you with fight clubs of Gotham City?
Fight fight clubs. I've competed in a good amount, I'd say.
So I've heard. We had a few, but back before the purge happened, there were quite a few that were actually up in Gotham where some of our kindred and other things would fight it out, so to speak. Those have since been disbanded, and now it's mostly the humans trying to qualm up whatever money they can from the bottom scourge. There's one in particular that I want you to investigate, maybe join, go undercover, etc. The names that I posted upon your desk not too long ago, we've seen some of those characters hang out around this area. Perhaps this would be a good time to actually investigate.
Sounds good.
If you meet one of them, try and be as friendly as possible and maybe try and gain their trust and just see what they're all about. I don't think they're enemies of ours, but they need to be observed and watched. They're too big of a wild card to keep unwatched in this city.
All right. Sounds simple enough.
Of course. He hands you some kind of instructions and some just some cash just to get you kind of make you look the part. And he says, like I said, just be yourself at that point. Just remember that you're there to gather information for us as well. One thing I specifically want you to look into is whoever is running this fight club. I want you to gain as much information about them as you can. Anything else is secondary.
You got it. It will
Very
be
well.
done.
All right. And he hands you the address of where it is, and he says, "Good luck, Blake.
Thank you.
The Order is watching. Be ever vigilant." And just in case you can't see his picture that much, that's him. And this is Vlad II, the leader of the Order Dracul in Gotham City.
Nice.
So I will have Axel or Mr. Blake head on over to the Fight Club at the moment. Creed, are you at the Fight Club?
Uh, I'm typically there.
Okay. Blake, it is nowadays, Blake, it is always raining in Gotham City. Um, However, for one such as you, this really isn't much of Other. The Fight Club is actually not too far from where you were stationed. Typically, they wanted you in the lower slums of Gotham City to avoid detection. This particular area of Gotham City is not massively as cyberpunk as the main city of Gotham, but it's getting there. So, neon signs, electrical fizzing, rain, very much like that. You eventually arrive at the door. There is a brick warehouse, and on the side wall there is a solid metal door with an eye slide. Typical, secretive door kind of thing. Blake, with the research that you've done on this club, you're easily able to get the password to the door. However, we'll go ahead and role play this out. So, Blake, you walk up to the metal door. What do you do?
I give it a hard knock a couple times to get the doorman's attention.
About 3 seconds later, you see the eye slot open up and the doorman look out. Yeah?
Yeah, I hear there's a way for him to make some money here kicking ass. Mind if I join?
I don't know who told you that.
Oh, what if I can make it worth your while? I say, holding up some cash.
You actually kind of... Actually, roll me a manipulation plus persuasion with 2 extra dice.
Okay, manipulation. Plus persuasion. Sure, let me just try to scroll this over. It's
I'll tell you what, since your computer is about as slow as molasses and apparently seems to be just blowing up, I'll look it up for you and roll it for you.
I got it. Manipulation plus what?
Persuasion. That was really good timing because I literally just brought up the sheet.
Just a heads up. Like 5:50, I have to drive my brother to his class. It's down the street.
That's okay.
Okay, thanks. It's just like a 10-minute thing. I'll be back. Okay, manipulation plus persuasion. Let's see. Okay, that'd be
3.
yeah.
5. It'd be 5. It'd be 5 total with the 2.
Okay, let me just. Okay, and let's see. R/R, right?
/R 5 to 10 greater than or equal to 8.
I put in greater or equal than to 8.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea how to type greater than or equal to.
Just pretend.
Like that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep, but you got 2 hits. I'll just count that one.
Okay. Thanks.
You actually got 3 hits. Sorry. So you look at the doorman and kind of wave the money like, eh. And he shuts the eye thing and you hear the door unlock.
I hand it to him as I walk in.
Says, much appreciated.
I nod.
You slowly walk down the stairs into the booming music and loud shouts and yells and somewhat flashing lights. No, not completely flashing, more like a dull humming. And you can see a lot of, basically, if you've ever seen the movie Fight Club, that's pretty much what it looks like. A bunch of people gathered around. There's a bar over on the left side. And you look around and you don't see too many predators, so to speak. However, you do instantly spot one. Creed, tell him what he sees.
All right. You see a rather large, buff-looking man. On one of the stools, his arms lean back against this, actual bar. He's very buff, very big. He's probably, you're guessing, roughly 6'5", maybe. Heavily tattooed. Like even from here, you can see like his neck is tattooed. You're guessing all of him is tattooed from his neck down. Has long, dirty blonde hair and a big, bushy beard, and is wearing leathers and several rings. He's just sitting there watching the fight, leaning back, surveying the entire. Occasionally, his eyes slide around, surveying the entire place like a king who surveying his court. And the way people move around him, glance at him, it might be true.
Does Creed have awe?
A little of awe, but more the fact that celebrity is still going.
Mm-hmm. All right. So Blake, this man is a predator. You can sense the beast. This man is not human. This man is kindred.
I think I'll walk up to him, strike up a conversation. He looks familiar, I believe.
Indeed, Blake. This is actually the picture of one of the names that you were given of people of interest.
So he doesn't know anything about me. He's just
No, yeah,
He's just
you're just to Creed. He doesn't know anything about you. You know a bit about him. So
okay.
Creed, you turn and you see another predator come up to you.
I turn and raise my eyebrow, give a small snort. This is rare.
You don't get much people in here? I mean, not regular people.
The kin are rare around these parts, he says with a laugh. At least those I don't know.
I nod my head in understanding. Any good matches happening soon?
Out of character?
Yeah, there's a fight between this one guy who's supposed to be just utterly ridiculous when he fights in terms of ruthlessness. Bald looking guy, a lot of tattoos, ex con. And then another guy who just recently got out of Blackgate. And this is an interesting fight going on because these two guys both look very similar and are both similarly built. One guy has been in the Fight Club for about a year or two now, and he's just, like I said, he's ruthless and ridiculous. Like, he goes over the top, but everyone's too afraid to tell him to, pull back a bit. And the other guy is from Blackgate, and it's even worse because this guy, the bald guy, was said to have been in a relationship with this other guy's girlfriend. So this fight is really tense before it even begins.
It's personal for them.
Yeah, Jerry and Johnson are about to go at it.
So, what would it take for me to join this fight? I say in character.
You see one of the Creed. You see what was it, James or Henry? I can't remember. Your friend, James or Henry? I've already forgotten my own character's name.
My contact's name is Max James.
Max James. Okay. So Max comes on over, Creed, and he's like, "Hey, Creed, what's up, man? Good to see you again tonight, man." Whoa, hey. I mean, I always say, Creed, you look like an Adonis and you look great in the ring. That guy looks like he knows his stuff.
This fellow over here?
Yeah, this is a potential fighter we got coming in. I knew you'd bring us something, man.
Looks over to the new guy. You a potential fighter here?
Say again?
You want to fight?
Definitely.
Oh, we can set him up tonight. And you see Max's hands just start to rub together.
Well, there's your answer.
Hmm.
Max
Thanks.
kind of looks you up and down, Blake. He's like, "Yeah, you're definitely experienced." Max kind of leans down to Creed and he whispers, "Although Blake, let me double check your sheet here. Roll me a wits plus composure plus 2 for you." That's going to be 6 dice for you.
For who?
For you, Blake. 6 dice.
Oh, sorry. I
I'm,
thought
I'm,
you were
I'm,
saying 2.
I'm sorry, 8 dice. Here. Like I said, I can just do things really fast. I'll go ahead and roll it for you.
I'm sorry. I thought you were saying that to Creed.
That's okay.
One success.
You got a hit, yeah. So you can kind of hear this. It's just really, really, really quiet. But Creed, Max kind of leans down to you, and he's like, "Creed, I think this guy's, really good."
We'll see. Let's see what he can do in the ring before we make any decisions.
Say, indeed, man. I'll tell you what. Before we have the main event happen tonight, why don't we have this guy come in and be kind of like a warm up? Get the crowd hyping up.
Yeah. That sounds like a good idea.
All right. Hey,
Right.
he starts looking at the crowd. He's like, "Hey, hey!" Starts snapping his fingers. "Hey, Billy, come on over here. You want someone to fight?" You see this man come through, and Billy is not massively buff. He's more of a Bruce Lee kind of looking guy, but he is. You can tell 2 things about Billy Creed when you first see him, and Blake, you can kind of size him up as well. There are 2 obvious things about Billy. One is he's arrogant as hell because he's walking around without his shirt on. 2, he's not extremely buff, but he looks like he's chiseled to ridiculous amounts. It looks like you could smash the guy with a hammer and he wouldn't break. He also has a couple old military tattoos on his arm. Army, perhaps?
Hmm.
Billy kind of looks and he says, "Yeah, am I going to fight this guy over here?" Max is like, "Yeah, Billy, you've been asking me for a fight. This guy, he's new. We want to see what he's capable of. You're pretty good yourself. You're quick, you're fast. Let's see how this guy can handle himself against you. I think you'll be fine. Take him down." Pats Billy on the shoulder. Billy goes to start talking to some of the dealers. And then Max booms over with a very loud speaker. And he says, "Ladies and gentlemen, before we have tonight's main event, we have a small preview thing for you all to witness tonight. We have a newbie fighter coming in versus our famed Billy the Speedster. Place your bets and get ready."
Creed's going to lean over before Blake starts going up. Place his hand on your shoulder and just hold you there for a sec as he leans over and goes, "I don't know. Look, man, I don't really know who you are, where you come from. I might have seen you at the court once or twice, but just a friendly reminder, don't break the masquerade. Now get
I
in there and have some fun.
All right. Before we continue any further, it's time for me to drop my little brother off. I'll be
That's
like,
actually that's actually okay. I'll go ahead and roll the fight for you, and I'll let you know what happens. And
okay.
I will give you the results when you get back.
Okay, my guy has specialty in
Oh
rolling,
yes,
so I guess that gives him one.
oh yeah, I've got your character sheet right here.
Okay, be right back. Thank you.
All right. And as they're both walking to the ring, Creed, you kind of step back, but as you step back, you bump into Talon.
It's just 8.
Holy shit!
Yeah, Talon
Had
just
that
kind of
effect.
emerges.
Where the hell did you come from?
Probably better you don't ask. How you been?
I've been good. You, kiddo?
Oh, making friends in high places. Starting to earn my wings.
Right. I've seen you. Saw you over by Tatiana's.
Yeah, it's not too often I have my own business to discuss.
Yeah, just be careful around her. You
Gives
know,
you the same, like, indeed nod.
I ain't saying she's exactly harmful, but some of the people around her. Let's just say, if she goes down, she's going to be dragging a lot of them with her. So,
He seems to ponder that while we continue.
is this business or pleasure? Or a little of both?
I'm kind of patrolling, you might say. Places we frequent. They seem to be disappearing, so I thought I'd just come by and just kind of have an eye.
Not to worry about this place. Doesn't seem to be exactly a supernatural hotspot. It's not just yet.
Perhaps in the future, in more private scenery, we can make a deal.
A deal, you say? Are you buying?
It's more of a mutually beneficial agreement.
I'm going to look around. Is there any place we can have this private discussion here? Like a back room or something?
There's a back room, and normally I would say you have to roll a persuasion to get back in there, but because you still have the effect up, they will let you go back in that little soundproof room.
Alright, I'm going to say, come on, and lead him back towards the soundproof room.
Okay, so you go back towards the soundproof room, and then the fight with Blake and the other guy will begin.
Yep.
I've, in a manner of speaking, negotiated lodging with your sister and her latest partner. He kind of like stumbles on that word, like he's not quite sure what all the connotations are yet, but I was hoping I could make a similar arrangement with you. Are you seem to spend a lot of time here. Is this place to you what the club is to Tatiana?
Not yet. I'm hoping it to be, but I've only discovered this place recently. I won't be making any great claims to it until I can assure my own individual influence over it.
Well, when that time comes, perhaps I can offer you my services. In the meantime, if there's anything I can do, don't hesitate to ask. kind of like he knows he's not a social person, right? So he get the
Yeah.
feeling that it's other stuff that shouldn't be said in public.
Shui.
What?
Shui.
I'm not sure what you're.
It's it is slang from Batman Beyond.
Oh, okay.
It means cool.
Yeah.
All right. And you're probably not familiar with my talents, but I've offered security to our companions.
Oh?
Yeah, well, if places are going to keep being thrown under or reduced to rubble, I feel it's better that I can assist. And you were there that night Joker attacked the club. The kind of offer I'm making would allow all of us to participate in its defense. And perhaps immunity to some of the strange things you might have seen that night.
Creed's going to look at him, slowly raising his eyebrows as he's putting two pieces together, and he's like, I knew those shrooms weren't that strong.
Indeed. Unfortunately, my talents are rather indiscriminate. By loosely claiming something as my home, I have a little bit more control over those aspects, over those talents.
Right,
I'm just gonna
good
flip
to
the
know.
sausages over. I'll be back in a sec.
They're all leaving me. Every time I get into talking with someone, they leave me.
That's because you smell.
Let's pause
Look,
that.
I don't
let's-
smell like Doritos.
Let's pause the scene and go down
Sorry, I'm
to. Oh, never mind. He's back.
It's a very small apartment. So upon seeing Creed put two and two together, did he say anything else?
He's no. Creed will be like, look, I appreciate the offer. Like I said, it'll be good once I get this place. Once I figure out how to claim it as my own.
And that's the plan, right? At any rate, I wanted to make you aware that you have options and you're not alone or under anyone's thumb. And he's like gradually trailing off of trying to long roundabout way of saying, "I got we're friends. Like we got this."
Thanks, kid. I'll keep that in mind. You want to watch some of the fights?
Sure. I just won't participate. You know how I do my thing.
Hey, I wasn't planning on jumping in there either. But it's always fun to watch.
Oh, come on, it'll be fun.
Sorry? So how could something be fun?
Creed's the only one that heard that.
Oh.
It'll be fun. Let me eat 'em.
I can't understand what it's saying.
It could be fun. Let me eat 'em.
Oh, could be fun. Let me eat them. I'm going to blink and go. Now, Bob, you can eat when. Actually, how would Creed say this? Let me think for a sec. Creed's going to stumble back and go, "Don't do that, Bob. Look, I get you're hungry, but I'd rather keep you on the down low before anything else bad happens. And I might be able to recruit some of these people. You'll get plenty to eat later." Oh, come on, don't be like that.
No response.
Turns to town. You know, angry voices in your head from giant demons wanting to eat things. You ever have that problem?
One might say it's my better half.
Creed, would you roll me a willpower save, please?
Oh, God.
Depending upon how this roll goes, Creed is probably going to hate me, but we'll see.
1 success.
Okay. Creed, even though you're satiated and full, you're a little hungry, but you're not, you're not so hungry that it's like, oh, I gotta have something. You're composed.
All right. Now, is this my a normal hunger for me, or does it feel different?
This feels really different because you're full. You've got, you've eaten, you're good, you're satiated, and yet you're still hungry. This doesn't feel normal.
Oh man. Creed's going to hold his stomach and blink.
You okay?
I feel weird. I'm fine. I'll figure it out. What was I saying?
We were just saying we got each other's backs, right?
Right. Yeah, we got each other's back. We'll keep an eye out. Listen, I've got to go take care of some stuff. You enjoy the club, have some fun, and I'll see you later, alright?
Sure. I'm actually going to use Eye of Heaven to determine any negative conditions or tilts he's suffering.
Okay, I won't even have you roll for that. He is suffering from the hunger tilt. He is also coughing.
Sorry. Yeah.
That wasn't me.
Yeah. Low key, I'm gonna be like, okay, sure, but I'm actually gonna tail him in the shadows. Because my family resemblance says he's full, but I can tell that he's hungry, so that's also at odds for me.
So Creed's going to make a quick exit from the fight club.
By the way, as you're exiting the room, you see a crashed and turned over table that's broken, almost perfectly split through, and you see Billy just lying across it, just knocked out, and you can see Blake standing in the ring about a good 5, maybe 10 feet away, with like literally no signs of damage whatsoever.
I'm just going to roll my eyes at that and shake my head a little.
You hear Max scream at you as you're leaving Creed, and he's like, "Creed, this guy's freaking awesome. He brought us an awesome fighter. Thanks, man."
Creed's just going to give him a thumbs up and walk outside.
Okay.
And head towards like a back alley.
Okay. Talon, would you roll me a Dex plus Stealth plus all of your other bonuses, please?
Unless he has aspects, he can't detect me right now.
I know. I need you to roll it anyway because you never know what else might be watching.
3, 5, 6. Oh, wrong job. Yeah, 60, 10, 11, 7. So 2.
Okay. And you're literally in the shadows.
Yeah, like if they have a power that can clash of wills with me to detect me, fine. But otherwise, I'm a shadow.
So you are shadow. So Creed, what are you doing?
So Creed's walking to the alleyway and leans back, and he's going to go. Bob, is that you making me hungry? Listen, you got
Two sides of the same coin.
right. How do I feed you?
Flesh.
Do I need to eat this flesh?
You can hear an audible sigh, almost like duh.
Any type of flesh needed in particular?
Doesn't seem to give any specifics, just flesh.
Okay. Creed's going to the local grocery store and buying raw meat.
Okay.
Buying like a bunch of hamburgers.
All right. You do so.
I'm going to actually before I'm going to blink as I do this. Oh god damn it, I don't have a stove, do I? Actually, my character probably has like electric heaters out. Electric stove.
I would
No.
imagine so. This is the year 2025.
Yeah, no, and it's for lab work.
Mhm.
Because he doesn't have a Bunsen burner, so he has electric equivalent.
He's using an electric firefighter stove. Okay. That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. A vampire would not have a Bunsen burner.
No. So
I mean-
you've actually got a flat. I know what you have. You have one of those flat electrical heat pads. Yeah.
Like a hot
I got
plate.
you. I got you.
Like something that really, really does get hot, but it doesn't
Actually,
show fire.
yeah, that's it. You got a flat top.
Yeah.
Easy.
I am back.
All right, so
Howdy.
I'm going to head back to my safe place and try cooking this meat up and see if this works.
Excellent. As Creed is going to cook meat, we'll pause that scene and go back to the fight that happened as Creed and Talon were talking in the room. Blake, I'll go ahead and let you choreograph a little bit of what's happened. Basically, here's how it went. You went first, you got a decent hit. Then he got a pretty good hit. Then you got kind of a minor hit. Then he went and he missed completely. And then you went and you finished him off. So
Okay.
I'll narrate what he did, and then you narrate what you did. Tell me, when you both were squaring up to start the fight and you got that first decent hit off, it was about 2 hits. Tell me what you did.
I lunged forward and landed 2 punches on him. One to his jaw and one to his gut.
Okay. He retaliates and he does a leg sweep on you and he knocks you on your back. And then he tries to go for a stomp, but he misses. Next hit you did was barely anything. You only got 1 hit. So what did you do on this strike?
Okay. You said it was just 1 hit.
It was just 1 hit. In other words, you barely got him.
Okay. Like Saki.
fine.
Okay, I think it's better now. Okay, yeah, I managed to bring myself to my feet quickly and throw a kick to his chest.
Throw a kick to his chest. He kind of grabs it a bit, and then he tries to throw you, but you're a bit stronger than he is, and you literally use one foot and just your body to prevent him from throwing your leg, and you manage to yank your leg out. You regain your balance. He goes to attack you with a high kick to your head, and you duck under him. And then the last hit you got 3 hits. That's a pretty dang good hit. So what did you do to finish him?
I deliver a roundhouse kick to the side of his head.
You deliver a roundhouse kick to the side of his head, and he goes flying into a table and crashes through it. Fight's over.
Nice.
Max comes on over to you. He's clearly one of the fight promoters, and he's like, "You, my friend, have a future here."
That's what I like to hear.
Well, excellent. I'll tell you what. Here's my number and contact information. Why don't you just give me a call when you want to fight, and we'll get you set up, my friend. It's good money, and he hands you $1,000 right there.
Okay.
Enjoy yourself, man. He goes, walks over, and starts to talk, and get ready for the main event fight. As that scene fades, we'll go back to Creed in his kitchen, maybe?
More like a lab, but
Yeah.
temporarily a kitchen as he's bought meat and salt. Or hamburger, ground burger, and salt.
Okay.
And
So I take it you cook it and you eat it?
Yeah.
All right, so you eat it and roll me a stamina athletics.
One success.
All right. You don't puke it up, but something's wrong. Vampires typically don't have the ability to eat.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, you're able to keep this down, and it's unnaturally odd, but it feels like imagine eating the worst food you could imagine and just feeling it like not only in taste, but then you eat it and let's say, they weren't following health policies and, like you ate some really bad Taco Bell or you ate really, really bad something. So the food tasted like shit. It was hard to keep down and it literally feels like your insides like you're going to puke, but you don't. However, you feel the other satiety that is odd to you go away.
Oh man. Oh man.
It is tough. It's like I said, it's not only tastes utterly disgusting to you like ash, but it's rumbling and move it like it literally feels like you just have to puke your guts out, but you just can't puke. However, the other satiety is filled.
Groans as he's dealing with that. And sighs and goes, at least you could make it taste a little better.
No response.
Gives a low swear under his breath. And then adjusts himself, tries to hide this, and starts heading back to the fight club.
All right. We'll finish up the Fight Club stuff, and then I'll go to Anthony,
Right.
and then I'll go to the other two. So, first things first, we go back to the Fight Club. Creed heading back with Talon, I assume, still shadowing him, literally. You go back to the fight, and the fight that happened with Blake is still wrapping up. They're getting
Yeah.
Billy out. They're getting Billy and the broken table out of the way. And the main event fight is just about to start between Jay
All
and
right.
Jay. And Blake, you are still there. You see Creed enter back, and you're welcome to talk with him as I'm doing stuff here.
Okay. Well, how'd my audition go?
Oh, that wasn't an addition, sweetie. That was just you playing around with the rabble.
Uh, okay.
What are you auditioning for?
It was a joke. I see this stuff on the movies all the time, so you know. I've only been to. Yeah.
So you knew around these parts?
I've lived in Gotham since I was 14, so
Right.
I kind of know my way around. Yeah, just go from fight club to fight club just to test my skills. Never hurts to have a little practice in.
Raises an eyebrow and goes, "Is that all you're here for?"
Eh, just more looking around.
All right. Well, I guess you can enjoy the area, have some fun, play some games, but like I said, don't go messing with the masquerade.
I never do.
At least not in my neck of the woods. I have a hard enough time with the Invictus breathing down my own shoulders, if you know what I mean.
I got you.
I smell another beast.
Oh.
What did it say?
Said I smell another beast.
That was an awesome special effect.
No worries.
I look up
Don't encourage him.
and I get 1 second, please. Take out my cell phone, raise it to my raise it to my ears, then go where?
You all of a sudden get a slight directional sense of somewhere behind you, and then the guy standing in front of you.
So he smells the um
He's basically saying the mark of the beast.
all right.
That's what it was pointing out, which is something you
Okay.
already knew.
Yeah.
But then, of course, he points out something behind you as well. But if you look behind you, there's no one there. Like literally, there's no other beast besides Blake in the room.
I lay a hand on Blake's shoulder and go, "1 moment, please." I turn to face the shadows. I'm going to try peering it, or behind me, and try peering in to see if I spot anyone or anything.
Okay, roll me a wits plus composure.
All right, 1 moment.
I'll be back like in 30 seconds.
It's all right.
I said I'll be back in 30 seconds. I just have to go to the bathroom.
Creed, you look
Can I make that a
Better.
dramatic failure?
if you want. Yeah,
All right, I will.
Creed, you look. You look. You think you see something over in the corner, and then because you weren't quite spatially aware and you didn't quite see anything happen, a bottle comes flying at your face and it crashes over your face and spills alcohol all over you.
I'm going to cringe and then turn around and go, "Oh, what the fuck, man!"
Oh, sorry about that. Sorry.
I'm whoever it is. I'm going to step up to them like all angrily, but then go, just breathe deep, step back, and go,
Hey, man, I didn't mean nothing by it. We're just getting a little rowdy, you know?
"Yeah, well, fuck off. Don't do that again."
Yeah, okay. No worries.
Right.
As you're walking away, you can hear him say, "Dickbag."
Just raise my finger as I walk away. And I'm going to turn to Blake and go, "Right, dude. So, anything else I can help you with?" Yeah, I think he.
Yeah, he
AFK for the
he stepped away.
All right.
Um,
So I'm going to just turn my back on him and continue watching the fight.
you watched the fight between J and J, and I rolled for it off screen here on the thing,
Yeah.
and it's pretty brutal. Both men, both being in prison, both having a massive amount of anger towards one another. You can imagine how this fight is going.
Yeah.
Um, there's a lot of grappling, a lot of headbutting, a lot of like dirty shots. But eventually, the guy who just got out of Blackgate prison gives Jay a really good kick to the chest, and your hearing being slightly better than human, you can hear what sounds like his sternum cracking, and you see Jay kind of go flying a bit. And it's at that point that you notice something about the other guy from Blackgate.
Yeah.
You think this guy might be a ghoul.
I'm going to go up and talk to him after the fight.
Okay. It's a fairly big guy. Both these guys were very large guys, like very stereotypical looking kind of prison looking guys. And
And
this
as I
guy's
do so, I'm popping off.
I am back. Sorry about
Hey
that.
Blake. Hey Blake. Um
I
so Creed, you walk up to him and you pop off.
Yep.
And he kind of looks over at you and says, "Ah, I hear you're one of the big shots. Pleasure to meet you." As he spits out a bit of blood.
I wouldn't say I'm too much of a big shot. I'm just pretty new here myself, actually. Just been making a couple of waves. Name's Creed. I hold out my hand to shake his.
Oh, pleasure to meet you, Creed.
That was some mighty fine fighting you had there.
Yeah. The guy's a fucking loser. Who gives a shit about him? He's weak.
It is.
I didn't even have a chance to sew my stuff.
Oh, and what sort of stuff would that be?
Oh, well, you know, I'm an outsider. Do you know what an outsider is, Creed?
No, why don't you tell me?
Outsiders like to keep their opponents at a distance with quick jabs and hard punches. He went for the eyes and started doing a lot of cheap shots, so I had to, do my own cheap shots. Okay, so I'll be honest with you, Creed. Maybe I hit him in the nuts a few more times than I should have, but he fucking deserved it. Piece of shit.
I see. I get it. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Damn straight.
But I must say, you're a darn good fighter. Must be something in the blood.
Raises an eye. He kind of blinks and almost like you just slapped him, and he kind of raises an eyebrow and he's like, I mean, my dad was a good fighter too, but I don't think fighting really inherits.
Does it look like he recognized what I said?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, but sometimes it's just you get this gift for fighting, don't you?
He kind of starts to say, "Yeah, I got to say I got to go. I'll talk with you later."
Uh. Why don't we go here? Here, let me walk you to the door. If that's the
Okay.
case, I start walking him to the door and go, you know, I'm a bit of a fighter too. I've got a nasty right hook, but um it's not my fighting skills that most people should be wary of. It's my natural charm and good looks. And as I say that, I'm going to try casting confidant on him.
Okay, his composure is 2.
All right. Does he have any resist power stat?
He does not.
He's a ghoul, so normally you'd have to purchase them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't
All
have it.
right. Okay. So he gets to roll 2 dice.
Watch him be 2 10s. Nope.
So that's going to be, again, an exceptional success because those 2 9s explode. So he gets the charmed condition as I
charmed.
start walking into the door. Now, don't get me wrong, you're a really good fighter, but that had to be something a bit more.
Well, yeah, I mean, I take some stuff.
Some stuff?
Yeah, I met this guy in prison. He gives me some, give me some, give me some stuff. I thought they were just steroids or something, but it's more.
There's more than that, eh?
Hey, look, don't tell anyone about this, man.
No. I have no. Trust me, dude. Trust me. I have no problem with the whole drugs situation. Steroids are steroids. Drugs are drugs. I'm just a bit curious. Who gave this to you?
Well, to be honest with you, I don't know. I received these vials in the mail and told to drink them. And this guy says he sends me money when I write him back, like what happens with it and stuff. Some sort of test or whatever.
Yeah. I get it. And I'm connecting the dots to the Riddler, I'm guessing.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. So I'm going to be like, look, man. I'm going to. You're an amazing fighter. You obviously have some talent. But I'd suggest stop taking those vials. For your own safety. Sounds like you're being a guinea pig.
Doesn't really know what to say to that. So he doesn't say anything.
Right. So, out of character, like from my watching, how good of a fighter was he? Like really notable, or just
Let's put it this way. He doesn't actually have a lot of martial arts skill. He's more of a street fighter. What he did do, he did very well. But he seems to be more of a dirty fighter, kind of throwing sand in your face to win kind of guy. Like he's a good fighter, but he's a good fight. He's good at cheating. Let's put it that way. He's really good at doing dirty shit. He's
Yeah,
just
well,
not good at martial arts.
all right. Well, in a real fight, you don't need to be good at martial arts.
Yes,
So
exactly.
he could be useful. Is what I'm getting the sense of.
Mhm.
He's not some throwaway. So I'm to be like, you know what? Tell you what. You seem like a fairly decent guy, or no, you seem like a fairly decent fighter. So I'm going to do you a favor here, right?
Okay.
From now on, I'll take over.
He agrees.
He just agrees before I even have to throw him.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
This guy's got a willpower of 3.
And I'm going to, just for the heck of it, still and throw him just because I can.
Sure, I won't even have you roll for
Yeah.
that. As you're doing that, we'll have the scene fade away for a
Right.
bit, and we'll go on over to Anthony Valente, who just sent a text to someone, and he gets a reply back saying, "Sure, I could go for some cherry pie."
Fair enough. In that case, he'll text the address and says, "This place about this time?" Question mark.
She replies back, "Sounds good."
See you there.
You proceed on to the bar that you've only been to about a couple times now, but it's a bit out of the way. It's not quite enveloped into the cyberpunk-esque area of Gotham City. It's one of the few bars that's kind of survived the test of time. It kind of looks classic. Looks like a nice old, kind of looks more like a roadhouse than anything. And as you're waiting in the long, dark, rain-filled night, everything is very quiet. Actually, it's very quiet. You barely even hear any sounds come from inside the house. It's just blank outside. And then, Axel, go ahead and mute yourself, please, if you're going to do stuff.
Sorry.
Um, out of the darkness, you see Claudia appear.
Hey, gorgeous.
Anthony,
Shall we go in?
of course, by all means.
And he will hurry to open the door for her and let her in.
Opens the door for her. She nods, gives you a little smile.
And then he'll follow her.
You follow her in. It's pretty quiet tonight at the bar, but there's still the normal barkeep and a few others around.
Yeah. He'll order 2 cherry pies and a Coke for himself.
Yeah. You sit down. She gets a rum and Coke actually, and she takes a bite out of the cherry pie, and she says, "Now, where and when did you discover this fabulous establishment?"
It was actually a secret tip of Ivan, our berry fellow there. Yeah, and after one of the bloody gangs had attacked, of all things. So, yeah, but he wasn't lying. They make some really good pie here.
Well, I certainly am impressed. I didn't think Yvonne would know a place like this.
Nor had I, but the fellow is full of surprises.
Well, how have you been, Anthony? I'm sorry we haven't gotten a chance to talk. Everything's been a bit chaotic recently.
Yeah, you can say that again. Phew. The assignment definitely has been having its ups and downs, but nobody died. Nobody who counts, and I find myself not worse the wear. How have you been?
Oh, I've been well. I got into a bit of a scruffle, but I'm all right.
Nothing too serious, I hope.
No, just odd things happening. That's all.
Yeah. I mean, this is Gotham. We are used to odd things happening, but the sheer frequency, I have to say, definitely has picked up over the last few weeks and months.
Indeed, it has. I have to ask, Anthony, where did you go when you disappeared that night?
Oh, out of character, that was the scene in the courthouse, the old abandoned one.
That was where you guys got transported.
Thank you. Oh, you mean that evening at the courthouse, right?
Yes.
And Anthony, sort of looks around, trying to gauge how many people are around who might be listening in.
Oddly enough, it seems like most of the people that are in the bar, the only other two patrons, don't seem to pay you any mind whatsoever. And you hear Claudia kind of speak up and she says, "You can talk about private things here. No one is going to hear us. Not with me here."
Gotcha. Old habits. I don't think you would believe me if I told you.
Try me.
Okay, as Madame wishes. So, we had proceeded further into the ground level of the old courthouse, and then we went into the subterranean sector. And then I started realizing that there were a lot of arcane symbols scrawled around. So I let my old noggin jog a little bit, and I recognized some of the arcane symbols to be associated with time, or at least the concept thereof. Next thing we know, some of the guys walked in, although I'd warned them that there was, magic afoot, and we got teleported to a place, a half-wrecked church that I can only describe as somewhere in Europe, 20th century, around the time of the Second World War. And it must have been somewhere in Europe, because from the uniforms, from the dead bodies lying around, from the sheer devastation around, it looked like some of the old holoreels we got to see in history class.
Well then, it sounds like you had a busy night that night.
Oh yeah, and there were zombies. Fucking zombies.
Really?
Yeah. And no, I had nothing to do with those this time.
Of course.
But yes, we got swarmed, and thankfully, to most people realizing what they had to do and some smart clogs figuring it out, they were able to find, it seemed like, a switch for a return ticket. and then we managed to get back. A little worse for wear, but everyone was still alive.
Well, I'm glad to hear you made it out okay.
It was very bizarre. I was sort of forced to reveal my true nature. Ah, well. Then again, a lot of other folks were also forced to reveal their true natures. He smiles as he has some more cherry pie.
Yes, those allies of yours are quite interesting.
You can say that again.
Be careful, Anthony.
With bloodsuckers around, always.
She puts a hand on your shoulder and says, seriously, be careful.
He dares to put his hand on hers and just looks back at her. I'll try my best, and gives her a wink.
Please do. She kind of looks around a bit and then leans in close to your ear and she says, some of our kind have been disappearing at night. I think it might be the Riddler.
I wouldn't be surprised. Apparently, he's also been messing around with the not-so-living. He gives her a nod.
She nods back.
But yes, I'll keep my eyes peeled as always.
So she'll hang and talk with you for about another hour.
Yeah, they'll be making pleasant small conversation, and Anthony will even try to convince her to go and watch a movie with him at some point.
She does. Yeah, she will. You guys will have a decent, night out. Kind of a random point right after the movie is over. She will give you a nice kiss on the cheek, and then she will say, "Thank you for the date." And without even another word, without even waiting for a retort, she will literally just walk into the shadows and poof.
Yeah, Anthony will just be looking in the general direction where she quote-unquote disappeared. A smile playing on his face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all things considered, this was definitely a pretty good evening for Anthony.
Indeed. While we end that scene, are there anything that Creed and Blake or Talon would like to do last minute at the Fight Club so we can bring in Andrew, Lillian, and William into the scene?
That's up to Creed.
Not that I can think of.
Wait,
I'm
are
good.
we doing the sheriff?
Yes,
Okay.
we can do the sheriff scene if you want. I just want to bring Andrew, Lillian, and William into it because I got to do stuff with them as well. So
Okay.
I'm good.
Sleep.
Yeah, I'm good too.
okay,
Somehow the profile pic got fixed, so whoever did that, thank you.
yeah, it works. So then, I will go ahead and bid Creed and Blake and Talon adieu. Thank you guys for playing,
No worries.
and we shall go to the other scene now.
I will say this. So I'm
Okay.
not going to be at the sheriff.
No
See?
problem.
So
Okay.
it's like that's the end of the thing for us for today.
For you, yeah, that's it. You can go ahead and go and whatnot. And
All
if
right.
there's any social scenes you want to do with other characters, you can PM them in Discord and be like, "Hey, do you want to do a social scene? Whatever, stuff like
Okay.
that."
So I'm not going to be involved in the sheriff scene.
If you want to, we do have enough spaces now. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
because-
he kinda has to be there.
I
Okay.
was one of the people that was told
Yep.
to come.
Okie
Yeah.
dokie. So
Well, see you, everyone.
see you later, Blake.
Later.
See ya.
So first things first, because Tatiana's been waiting so patiently, let's start with the sheriff scene. So Tatiana, go ahead and tell us what scene we'll be starting in, and then I'll guide you guys through.
Well, I'm going to start with either calling or texting Creed so I can either pick him up from somewhere so we can arrive at the same time. And depending on what he replies, I will proceed.
All right. Creed will say, if you insist on us going together, he'll meet you. He'll meet you at the club or another secure location to drop off his bike.
Well, okay then. She will pick Creed up from the club. You'll see the car arriving. She won't go
Mhm.
out. Just you'll see the window going down, and she will gesture you to come in.
All right. Creed will come in. Jump in the car.
Are you feeling better?
More sober, I wouldn't say better.
That's what I meant.
Well, if you think being sober means more better, we've got a very different definition.
Well, better for what we're about to do, not better.
Oh, for that, yeah, I suppose.
Okay.
I'm only a wee bit high.
Well, yeah, but that's your natural state. Earlier, you were out of your mind.
Out of my mind, out of my gourd. It's all the same.
You couldn't even recognize me.
Oh no, I recognized you. You were Jeremy.
Really?
Yeah. Was I wrong? Were you not Jeremy?
I never was. No.
Wait, were you the pink elephant then?
No, I was myself. I don't know what you were saying.
Well, that's the kind of the point of making yourself. In my defense, I didn't know he had that many shrooms in him.
Oh dear. Well, maybe test before you gorge yourself then? What am I saying? Anyway,
But where's the fun in that?
I'm just nervous. It's not
I
every
can
day that
tell.
we get to meet the sheriff.
Just remember, smile and nod. Smile and nod.
Okay, let's see which one of us will break first.
Ooh, can't be me.
So I take it you proceed to the address that he gave you for
Yeah.
the sheriff?
Oh yeah,
Yep.
the car is already moving. We're just having,
Okay.
some little sibling banter on the way.
So you banter and you get to the sheriff's and the spy master's place, and it is a fitness gym. And
Hoorah!
you were told to go to the top floor.
Yeah, Tatiana very out of place in there.
Indeed, you do, and you walk up the stairs. It's a really nice gym. It's not like run down in any way. It's actually spotless.
Yeah, but you don't see people in stilettos going in
You don't.
usually.
But you go up the stairs, and you go to a very large room, and you knock, and you hear a deep voice. Enter.
She will open the door. Sheriff Mota, good evening.
I feel like I should be saying hoorah.
Tatiana, Creed, come on in.
By the way, out of character, it should have been Madame. Okay?
Madame. Whatever. He's the sheriff. What give a damn does he have?
He's also Invictus.
So he's the sheriff.
Yeah, decorum, damn it.
He takes a look at you both, gives a nod. He says, "Right. I take it you here to discuss things about the Riddler."
Yes, I received your message. We both did. How may I help you?
Well, we might have actually found something on him. Might have gotten a little bit sloppy. Apparently, that lab that you guys found the first time, apparently not everything was destroyed. And we found another place where they might be setting up to do another test lab.
Interesting.
Oh, fun.
We think it's a warehouse over by the pier. It's actually not too far from where Joker's old carnival place was. You might need to do some digging, but that would definitely be a place to start. We're not entirely sure exactly what's over there, but we got an idea.
Out of character question. We can communicate telepathically, right?
You have to roll blood sympathy to do that.
Okay, so what do we roll? Because she would want to know if the address that this guy gives us matches the one you have without him knowing.
I can tell you out of character right away that won't, because the address I have is outside of the city.
That is correct.
Yeah, but would I know that at this point?
I gave you the address, so
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, good. Okay. Never mind then. I guess it's worth checking out.
she means thank you very much for the wonderful lead, sir.
Did you have any surveillance of the area?
We do. And it looks like they don't have a whole lot of security there.
Convenient.
Indeed. You could say I did some work to see to it that security would be weakened. I may actually be joining you in on that little excursion when you go. Give me a heads up when you're going.
It'll be our pleasure.
Oh, that depends. How well do you play nice with other species?
I can play nice with others. He kind of looks, says he. I can't do Dwayne Johnson's attitude that well, but just think if The Rock was speaking to you and
Yeah.
trying to be nice while having like a vein in his head pop out. I can be nice with others. Twitch. And you notice that when he comes up to you, Creed, he's really big. Like really big.
But Green's pretty big too.
I know. This guy's bigger.
The horror. I'm angry now. I should have made this guy like 6'7".
You don't need to be the biggest, you know.
Lies.
Best
But-
things come in small packages. I say at
Yeah.
5'5".
He kind of looks at you. He's like, I can play nice with others. I really don't give a shit who you bring or who we participate with. I just care about getting the job done. That's all I care about.
It will be done.
Do I make myself clear, Creed?
Am I supposed to be going yes, sir, here?
You could just say yes or no.
Yeah, sure.
Excellent.
Sheriff, there is no need for this aggression. We're all in this together. We will have the same goal. And it will be done.
Sorry, trade of the blood.
No offense taken.
Gives a little nod to you, gives a nod to Creed. Says, then I'll await the call. And he goes back and he goes up to a punching bag. And this punching bag has been like, it doesn't look old, but it looks like it's gotten so much abuse that it might as well be one from like the 60s. And he does a roundhouse kick on it, and it goes flying and snaps the very large steel chain at the top, and it just goes flying off and lands on the boardroom. He's like, "Ah, oh, god damn it! How thick a chain do I need to get for this?" And then he picks it up with one hand, which is somewhat impressive, and then he just tosses it onto a pile of other destroyed punching bags. And he's like, "Ah, it is our gift, but it is also our curse."
Would you need anything more from us, Sheriff?
That'll do for now. Thank you. I do recommend opening up that club since when you close it down, that's a lot of money not coming into the Invictus, and people start to notice that, and they might make a move. I would definitely recommend keeping your face and trying to open the club back up again.
I need to repair it first. It
Well,
will
that I
take
can
some
help
time.
with. That I can help with, because part of your money comes into my pocket as well. And also comes into part of my reputation. And what happened at your club was strictly not all right. The gangs we don't have any jurisdiction over. However, there were some in that attack that were of our
I am
state,
aware.
so to speak.
I
And
am
they have been
aware.
punished.
Well, I'm
By the way,
upgrading the security measures. I will have a lockdown.
Who exactly in our little society? What were the interlopers?
I wish I could show you their heads or their faces, but they're ash now. They had to be made a demonstration of.
I haven't heard of this.
No, it was a private execution. Something we haven't done in nearly 100 years.
Can at least
May-
get their names?
Thanks for a moment. Tatiana, go ahead and roll me a persuasion check. Manipulation.
Uh,
Or presence.
does the striking looks play part in that?
Since you and Creed are both there, yeah, I'll go ahead and say yes. It does.
Great.
Because double striking looks
Okay.
team up.
Yeah, that's exceptional success.
Oh,
Super
holy shit.
exceptional success.
Fuck, he'll give you their he'll give you their files.
Good.
It'll actually tell you he'll actually give you the files on a bunch of different people that he's been looking into that might or may not be involved. He kind of hands you the files. He's like, some of these people may be involved, some of them may not, some of them are just under suspicion, but figure I'd go ahead and give you that file.
I'll give it a look.
Of course.
Thank you for this help.
Anytime.
Now,
He
as I was
goes,
saying, I'm planning on adding a lockdown system to the club in case something similar happens.
as you're talking to him, he's listening, but he literally just goes and he starts lifting. Like he goes down to a bench and he starts lifting what looks like about 500 pounds. He seems to have had a specially designed bar for him, and it's just full of weights on either side, and it's about 500 pounds. And he's just pressing it like it's nothing.
Impressive. So,
He's like, yeah, security system probably be a good idea, and probably add in maybe a couple scanners, put in all of your guards as retinals and thumbprints and all that. Speaking of which, we got a new little security gig going. Maybe you should get that set up. I think it's with Wayne Industries. That might help you out a bit. And then he puts it up.
well, to be fair, I do have a meeting with one of
Ooh,
Wayne
he
Security, so might as well inquire.
said the
course then.
W word.
He nods and he just says, sure. Anything else?
I think that will be all, Sheriff. Thank you for your time.
Sure. Oh, and by the way, when we go to that rendezvous, I'm in charge. That understood?
Fair enough. You're the sheriff, after all.
Good.
Have a good evening, sir. Creed.
And he goes to start. He just literally jumps up about maybe a good 10 feet in the air. He grabs a pull-up bar that's on the ceiling, and he just starts doing pull-ups.
Creed's wondering if he can outstrength this guy.
Creed. Are you coming?
Yeah, sure.
Come on. They'll get back in the car and start driving. And then Tatiana will say, he does have a bit of an anger management problem, don't you think?
He's a gangrel. What do you expect?
Right.
Tatiana, with your knowledge of politics, you know that this sheriff is very headstrong. He likes to do everything by himself, and he's one of those sheriffs that's very messy. It's often been said that he loves the thrill of the hunt almost more than anything else. And whenever there's a vampire or someone who's been doing something bad and the sheriff has to go enforce, he is like very, very blunt, very, very like, I'm going to kick down the door to this dude's place and just wreck his shit, kind of a guy.
Yeah. So, anyway, we have an address, I have these files. We'll have work to do. How about the other address that the Riddler gave us? When are we going there? Tomorrow?
Sure, if you guys still want to go into the trap. I mean, I can always use the money, so...
You know that if you need money, you can always come to me, right?
Yeah, but then I have to invest the money in something good and proper, and you don't like what I invest in.
I don't tell you what to invest in, I'm just hoping for the best. In any case, we have a few people that can go with us.
Oh, speaking of which, he's... Just to let you know, I'm pretty sure at this point that the Riddler is sending vampire blood around to people and making them into ghouls.
Oh,
So that's a thing.
can he even do that?
I know, it's weird, right? Vitae normally degrades after it leaves our body within like seconds.
Maybe those who deal with blood magic, maybe they have something that preserves it. I don't know personally, but if he has someone under his thumb, maybe. We haven't even determined his actual nature yet.
No, we have not.
Well, let's plan for the worst. If we can find a way of escape, let's say, we could do this.
Sure thing.
Let's.
Speak to the others, speak to your people, speak to mine, and see what we can get together. So tomorrow we can plan before we go. If we are to go. If we decide it's a bad idea, then,
All right. I'm willing to do whatever to get this guy off our back. Again, you already know what I really want to do with him.
I don't care what you want to do with him, honestly. Do whatever you want as long as he's out of circulation.
And Creed just waggles his eyebrows at that.
Alrighty. With the eyebrow waggle, we will fade that scene to black for a moment, and we will go to Lillian. How is Lillian recovering?
She's visited the mage, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Not
He's
the
an angel.
the demon.
Demon.
Ah,
The doctor. Just say the doctor. You don't know what he is.
Yeah, you've healed up quite pretty much everything else with exception of the ag damage.
I think
So
the
you're
ag damage
feeling-
is healed, actually.
Really? Let me check.
Yeah.
He's a good doctor.
Okay, yeah. So you've undergone extreme treatments, and your damage is healed. And you've mostly just been spending time at the club, which is now shut down, mainly because it's the safest place you can think of. What's on Lillian's mind nowadays? After all, there was a lot that happened to her this last week.
First, that gargoyle thing, she's put at the back of her mind, but she's not really trying to go too much into it. She knows Matches is dead, or at least thinks Matches is dead, and is now going to be focusing on the penguin and plotting her revenge.
Indeed.
She's having an idea, though. Since the penguin is a multifaceted organization, what if she starts cutting the nose from the source?
In other words, you want to start doing some vigilante shit?
Well, vigilante stuff. Yeah. Although it's
Okay.
going to be a hell of a lot more violent than Batman.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and roll me an intelligence or wits plus streetwise.
All right. Let's see. Yeah. Put up the document.
Actually, this is a unique thing to you, so go ahead and roll me intelligence plus streetwise plus 2.
All right. So that'd be 3 plus 5. So that's 7. All right. Two successes. Or 3 if you count the 10.
Okay. You'll have some time to eventually start going over, and that is something I want to do with you later if you're going to go do that. But you have some locations that you might be able to start knocking over to get the penguin's attention and deliver a blow to him. However, we will
I'm
need to
gonna
do
go
that
for-
in a different scene. Go ahead.
Yeah. She's going to make a mental note and is going to start plotting which note she's going to go to first.
All right. Probably one of the best ones to start with is there's 2 iceberg lounges in Gotham City. One of them is the Penguin's main headquarters. However, the other one is a much smaller, newer one that was built that's not quite as heavily fortified. That would be a real big blow.
That's going to be the plan.
Okay. I'll go ahead and start sending you some info on it, and you can start planning how or what you're going to do on it. If there's nothing more to declare, I would like to go over to Mr. Zillick. What has Mr. Zillick been doing this past week? He's been very quiet and away. It appears Mr. Zillick has had a stroke. So, let's go to William.
Okay.
You were doing some scoping out and you succeeded greatly. However,
Mhm.
one of these locations was a yacht. So, I mean,
Mhm.
you got what you could from it.
Mhm.
Nonetheless, you're full back on Gnosis again. Feels
Nice.
good to have the connection of Luna back to you. You sense when you were going around talking with some of the spirits and getting some essence, some of them told you that there may be more of your brethren coming into the city soon.
Do they know what they are looking for in the city?
Didn't seem to know.
Do they at least know what tribe they are?
Tribeless.
Okay. Well, that doesn't seem so bad.
Thunder and lightning crackle overhead as you're deep in contemplation. William, you can feel the tether to Tatiana.
Oh shit. Okay.
Hairs on the back of your neck stand up. Tatiana and William, simultaneously, you both feel the bond snip, like someone cutting a thread with a pair of scissors. Each of you take 1 bashing damage, please.
Okay.
Okay. That's
It
not
hurt. It hurt mentally a lot. Imagine if you could feel someone cutting your brain in half with a pair of scissors. That's what it felt like. And both William and Tatiana can feel the bond completely broken.
William is starting to kind of get worried because he doesn't know how this could happen or if this is a vampire thing or kindred thing.
William, hanging out here in the Umbra, you see a few of the spirits that you found at the club that one night when you were looking and investigating Dalton's killer. You see a familiar spirit, one that you're not too happy with.
I like
Hello.
just glare at it. Oh, I just glare at
Oh,
him.
are you still upset about that poor night? You hurt me, William.
What do you want, spirit?
I can ask of you whatever I please, remember?
Is this your doing?
Oh, no. I would never do something so as obscene as that. I would never sever the connection of two who desire each other so much, even if it is a lie.
William is trying to compose himself because he doesn't want to break the deal he made with this thing.
Oh,
So,
honey, you didn't actually think she liked you, did you? Oh,
what
poor
do you
thing.
want?
Poor thing. Oh, well, how about this? How about I give you a nice little. And it goes to grab your cheek and do that really awkward kind of mother thing, like,
Yeah,
and it's like, why don't I give you something that'll help you, you know, be a little more happy. We'll give you something interesting to do, okay? How about that?
at this moment, I don't think you can give me anything that will make me happy.
Oh, well, I have some patrons that pay homage to me, and they have been getting abused in the Hell's Kitchen section. And, well, the local gang, it's a small gang, not even one of the mains. They call themselves the Green Thumbs. I want you to go and tell them that their bullying of these people is just not okay. Convince them that they are not to do this anymore. If you
And why?
do this for me, and I'll consider our debt fulfilled, and I'll even give you a little present. Granted, you still can't come anywhere in my territory and talk to me like you did, but I'll at least hold your deal fulfilled.
Oh, why would the lust spirit want something? Why would you want something like that? Oh, great lust spirit.
Because my worshippers are having such a hard time doing their job. There's no lust in these people, they're just being cruel to my followers.
Well, I do want to eat you, but I also don't want to break the fact. So I suppose I'll do this.
When you say you want to eat her, she's like, oh.
Mm. Maybe after this I'll think about it. Do you know how many they are?
Gang of 6.
Where did you say it was again?
Tells you the address. It's a place down in the old city. Not too far, actually, from where your Promethean friend lives.
Ooh. After this, after your little reward, I hope we never meet again.
We will. Child of Luna.
William's just gonna walk away from this thing now. I'm just gonna try to go back to the flesh world and go to the address.
Okay. And that's something else that we'll also have to do in another scene.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew, are you back?
Yes.
Okay. I was going to ask, what has Zillik been doing the past week? He's been a bit absent.
Well, I'm going to assume there was his girlfriend to deal with. There was Otto and his
Indeed. And
distractions.
that will be quite the scene once posted.
And, well, I imagine he's also been tying up loose ends.
Mm-hmm. Saying
There
goodbye
was,
to a lot of the old law enforcement buddies.
some of that. There was that. There was attempting to finish up the case for Miss Kripchenko that he's been putting off for too long.
Indeed, the murders. There have been quite a bit of distractions about the murders recently. It's been difficult for anyone really to focus on that task at hand. Now, especially since every lead you seem to find just seem to go cold. It's interesting. You've done a lot of work in your past and you've run a lot of cold cases, but none that have been such dead end like this one.
And of course, most recently, there's been attempting to deal with the hunger, as it were.
Indeed. There really has been. Although you do have two individuals trapped, so to speak.
Had to.
Had to.
One at the moment. The other, seeing as Talon is so very talented a shot, did not survive.
Sad. But not really.
As it stands, no, he does have the other still in his lair.
Would you like to feed tonight?
Oh no, Andrew is still quite full. He knows that going overboard has consequences.
Indeed, it does.
No, if anything, he's going to continue working on those loose ends. There has been the Riddler, who has proven himself no shortage of annoyance to him and his friends. So mostly, he would be spending time looking for clues in that direction.
Toward the Riddler?
Yes.
Yeah, and
Examining.
you'll start to find some leads.
But as far as something more concrete, not that I can think of, no.
Mm-hmm. And you can go ahead and roll me intelligence plus investigation.
I don't remember how to do 9 again.
Oh, it's just an extra hit. Four hits. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. Very nice. I'm going to have some information for you, Zillik, as you're going about investigating, but I'll have to get that to you later.
Oh, it worked. Excellent.
Yeah, very much so. You find a decent amount of information. As for the rest of the scene, are there any other last-minute declarations before I end the scene tonight?
Would I be getting any random info about the stolen shit, or we blue book that?
That will come later.
Okay. Then no.
That one is going to take specifically some time. However, you may find the connections that you'll put together very interesting with that one. But I think
Alright.
we'll call it a night tonight, at least for this session. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. This has been another session in Gotham by Night.